What is up, guys? My name's Riley. Today we're gonna be taking you on a bit of an adventure. Today I'm gonna be showing you guys how to set up network shares with individual logins. So, good way to explain this is that you are in a household with a bunch of friends. So, for example, you, Jim, Peter, and Alan, or whatever. I don't know, and you want to have a communal network share so you can share movies and totally legitimately downloaded adult content. I don't judge. And then you have your own private shares where you can privately share, or you can privately have your files up on the server for like either a backup purpose, or you'd like to edit off of a server like with video files, or just for some reason you like to have files on up there. So let me show you guys how to do that. I'm using Windows Server 2016. You can get an evaluation copy off of the Microsoft Store, completely free. If you're a student, I believe you can actually get a copy of it. I know I can, but I used a different method, so yeah. I'm also not going to show you how to use that method, so yeah. Anyway, what you're going to do is you're going to remote into your server. I imagine you have some basic knowledge of how to use Windows. If you don't, then sorry. So you're going to remote into your server, and you're obviously only going to have one user, so you have to log into the administrator account on the server. So you put in the username and password for that, and then you remote in. For some reason, this does take a little bit longer for some reason, unless the server's restarted on me, which might be an issue. Okay, no, it hasn't. So here we go. Here's my server. It's Windows Server 2016. So a couple of things you're gonna need to do: add roles and features. Add a role-based or feature-based installation. Select your pool, which would be just that one server because you're not running like 15 servers. You're going to need to select file and storage services, and you're going to need to select the file server resource manager. I probably also install file server if you haven't already. Or if it isn't already installed, I forget. You might also need a few other things. A great way of actually figuring out what you need is by going to File and Storage Services, go Shares. I assume this is here anyway. Then right click, go New Share, and it will tell you what you need. Like for advance, for what we're going to do, it will tell you need XYZ. So you can go in here and you can install it, and it will just have, you just be like next, and it'll go to the end, and it will install it, and then you shouldn't need to restart. So yeah, I'd show you, but yeah, it's like installed, so I can't really ask uninstalling it. So next, you're going to need to actually make a user account for each individual person. So what you're going to do, go to your start menu, go LUSRMGR.MSC. This is the local user and groups manager in Windows. So in here, go users, right click, new user. The username I'm just going to use as like, I don't know, Jimmy, yep, Jimmy, and then JB, I don't know why. Description, you can put a description. I didn't put a password on his account. Great one. Let's just cut. So you put your password in. These are just sort of standard sort of things that, like, for example, if you're a network administrator yourself and you make an account for like 20 people in like a workplace, you just make one basic password. So for example, like, password exclamation mark 2 or something, I don't know, with like a capital P, just so it gets around the thing. Because trust me, ASDIF does not work. I've already tried that. Because like of something, you can tick this, and then when they log in, either from a remote session or with your domain and Active Directory, it will actually prompt them to change their password. Or you can change it so passwords never expire, or they can't change the password, so yeah, or like you just try to disable the account so they can't log in. So yeah, that's how people block your school account, by the way, if people who run Microsoft centered schools. I mean, at least I think so. They go in here and they're like, yeah, disabled. So now we've got Jimmy's account set up. I just want to double check something real quick. Wait, I'll show you something afterwards as well. So we're going to go shares, right click, new share, or actually, if you haven't already got a share set up, it will actually prompt you to do this wizard. So we're going to create a personal share. So we're going to go advanced. So it's going to set owner permissions and stuff. So we're going to go next. Select the volume. If you have either an external disk or anything other than your C drive you want to put it on, select it here. Or you can have a custom path to it if you really want to. The share name. So we're going to go Jimmy. Say description. You can put a description if you want. So it's going to go hasdiff. This will be the path that they use to go to the share. So then you can manually choose where it is on the disk as well. So hit next. I always like to enable this because if the user does not have read or equivalent permissions to a folder, Windows hides the folders from the user's view. So if I'm logged in as me instead of Jimmy, I won't be able to see Jimmy's hierarchy. So just enable that. You can also encrypt it if you want to. We're not in a mission critical situation, so we don't need to do that. So next, on this permission screen, customize permissions, change the owner. I'd like to change the owner to Jimmy. If you don't, you can just also, if you're not sure, go Jimmy and then go check names, and it'll go domain and then name. Go share. So this says that everyone can read that. You don't want that. You want to remove that and then go add, select principal, and then put in his name again, and then go full change, and then OK, and then apply. Yep, cool. Those are all fine. That's locally on the machine, I'm pretty sure. And then go yep. So that's, I might have accidentally clicked cancel, but it's alright. So yep, so Jimmy, full control. Yep, and then next. So you've done your permissions now. So select the view, the folder view value for this folder. This is only going to belong to a single user. So, yep. If you're going to use a group, you can also take a group. I'm not sure what this does actually, but yeah. This is also for large scale enterprise stuff. So if there's an issue with it, you put in your put in an email if you really wanted to, but I'm not, because yeah. You can also add a quota to this. So if you only have a terabyte, you can add a 10 gig, or if you have 100 gigs, you have a 10 gig limit to it, and it's a hard 10 gig limit. Or why you'd have a 10 I don't know, whatever. People are weird. Then again, this is server software we're talking about, and you gotta do it for everything. So yeah, this is by the way, this is for Windows stuff. So I just like to preface that. So now that's all done. Click create. And it'll create the share, and then hit close, and then now Jimmy's share is being created. So now if we go, so for example, I'm logged in to the server under me. So if I go, so let's see, that's mine. I've literally just made it. So if I go to the server and then go Jimmy, it says I can't access Jimmy, but I can access mine. I can't access test because I was testing stuff before, and this is the global share that I will show you how to create later. Also, I'm really quickly going through this, I feel like. Because I've already logged into it, to actually change stuff, and it's probably for the better anyway, you need to add a credential. So go to Credential Manager, Windows Credentials, and then go add a Windows credential, and then type in where the server is located. So in my instance, it's just server, and then your username. So I'm going to put in Jimmy. Hopefully this actually works off the bat, and you put in your password. Hopefully this just works. I might actually need to restart. I mean, yeah, this is still so that's a different IP address. So share, obviously that's going to work. And then I go server. Okay, it didn't work. Alright, so you can tell I've just freshly signed in because RainMeet hasn't even opened yet, and Discord is just opening. I'll close that for the time being. RainMeet is just opening. Everything's coming. Okay, there we go. So now if we go, it has saved it has saved Jimmy's credentials. So if we go server and then go Jimmy, now Jimmy, it works. And then also the share also works as well because that's set to everyone. So you just need a login to be able to see this. It doesn't matter what login you have, you can just see that. I'll show you how to create that now actually. So if we go back to remote desktop, yeah, we sign in. That was a hell of a lot quicker than before. So now we're back into the server. You don't need to log. You don't need to remote in, by the way. If it's literally just there, you can just use it. I choose to remote into it because it's in the other room, and so I can also record stuff like this. Actually, also a really good thing to do. No, never mind. No, don't listen to me. I was gonna do remote desktop, but I'll do that later. So now I'm going to show you how to create a public, what I call a public share. So new share. This is just going to be a quick one because you don't need permissions and stuff and quotas as much. So of course, yeah, select quick, where it is located on the disk. So again, if you want to choose this to be a separate disk all on its own, then you can do that. Share name. So we're going to go global share. Share description. Just easier for, I think it's in here, I'm not sure. Of course, you can choose where it is on disk again, and it shows where it is, where the remote path is for that. You don't need the access-based enumeration. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce that. I probably butchered it. You don't need to do permissions. Everyone read only. Actually, hang on. You can actually edit this and go full control because everyone's going to be reading and writing to it. It's not like it's just a file thing where you pull stuff off and that's it. Unless you want to do that, then you can totally do that. If it's like movies and stuff, then you don't want people deleting movies or whatever, then you can do that. And then go, yep. So, and then go create. And then it will create it, and then we go close. And if we jump out of the remote session, go back to server, global share, there it is right there. That's my drawing tablet there. So that's just a basic rundown of how to actually do that. So now we're going to show you how to set up remoting on different accounts. That's just a sort of side note, I guess, if you want to. So I assume you have to set up the remote desktop services. So roles, next. Find remote desktop services and then just tick that and then it will come up. I can't tick it, so I chose to do the desktop gateway and session host. That's what works for me. I don't even think you might need that, but still, if the method that I choose if the method I show you doesn't work, then you can do that. The next, do everything. Yep, done, cool. Next, go back to your local users and groups. Go to your user, go to member of, and then go add. And then go remote. Can you do that? No, I can't. Okay, it's in here. It's remote desktop users. Okay. Users. Okay, there we go. So you have to be a member of remote desktop users. I'll show you what happens if you're not a session of that. Right, I'll hit apply. I wonder if I can have 2 sessions of. I mean, I know I can, but bollocks. Whoops. Yep. Shut up. You're not seeing anything. Okay, just I don't want to talk about it. So we're gonna go Jimmy, and then put in my password. I set to him. See that? Okay. That's what comes up. I literally just clicked away from it. But that's what comes up. It says, the connection was denied because the user account is not authorized for remote login. I thought it was something to do with in here, in remote control, but it's totally not. It's in member of, and then add, and then remote desktop users. There you go, apply. You don't even need to hit OK, you can just leave it open, and then connect, and then it will not remember me for some reason. But it will just work. So that's JB, that's what I set the username to be. Don't ask why I use JB. But yeah. So that's, yeah, and then now they've got their own session, which they can use to host the server. So for example, if you have a bunch of mates in a state, you can get them, if they wanted to, they can use your server to host, file servers, game servers, whatever off it. Or if they wanted to, I don't know, if they wanted to do something with it, then they can. So yeah, that's how to do basic server stuff, I guess. Like, comment, subscribe if you liked it and found it interesting, or interesting and useful, I guess. I won't show you how I did the Windows 10, the Windows Server 2016 thing, because I'll probably get arrested for it. So yeah, there's that. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys found it useful, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.